Milligan. Lost in the sun. Bill Ripken tries to run it down and makes an incredible play. Unbelievable. Breaking ball hit sharply in the hole. Speared by Cal Ripken over to first. What a marvelous play.
Don't miss a play as the Orioles swing into summer on HTS with 5 preseason matchups. Preseason coverage on HTS begins in March. Don't miss it.
Say, didn't you put a new roof on your house last year?
Yeah, Sears did it. Gutters, too.
Sears? I didn't think of them.
They gave me a free estimate, did a great job, guaranteed my satisfaction, and gave me financing.
I trust your judgment.
Well, then you can trust Sears.
Does Sears give golf lessons?
Sears Home Improvements. Professionally installed, satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. Sears Home Improvement Professional. The most trusted name around the house.
And this is our 1991 Chevy S10EL. Let me point out a few features. Electronic fuel injection, power front disc brakes, rear wheel anti-lock brake system, double wall steel, front and rear. 5-speed, full gauges, tinted glass. What do you think?
So, what will I get for this price?
Let me show you.
The 91 Chevy S10EL. For value, more people are winning with today's Chevy truck.
It was a near flawless first period of hockey for the Washington Capitals. They pick up 3 goals, 2 of them coming on the power play. Outstanding defense as well. And right now, they own a 3-0 lead over Philadelphia after 20 minutes of action here at a wild and sold-out Capitol Center. Welcome back to Capitals Hockey on Home Team Sports. I'm Al Koken. As always, Capitals General Manager David Poile joins us. And David, anything you found at fault with your team in that first period?
No, obviously we couldn't ask for anything better than that. This is such an important game. I'm sure both teams are prepared through several meetings for this contest. And with New Jersey winning last night, it's almost like who gets the lead, so to speak, in the standings is in the driver's seat. So it was a terrific period for us. Killed a couple of penalties, and obviously, as you just mentioned, we got a couple of power play goals. I think, though, you got to remember that the Philadelphia-Washington games, because of the physical nature of the games, are going to be long games, and just because the score is 3-0 does not mean that this game is over with. And I would hope our players can have that level of play and that level of concentration that they had in the first period that can last for the second and third period.
David Poile, we'll take your phone calls at area code 301-499-6600. To get back to what you were talking about the very physical Philadelphia team, looked like maybe Paul Holmgren was trying to get his team going a little bit towards the end. Craig Berube out there getting in a fight with Stephen Leach. Some other battles, Keith Acton trying to get involved. Do you see them maybe changing their tactics to try that a little more, to find a spark for that second period?
Well, you are what you are, and you know, both teams, by virtue of all the years that we've played against each other in the Patrick Division, are by and large have tendencies towards physical play. Again, it's an understatement to say that our past games have certainly been physical, and I think that's what everybody expected tonight, and I don't think that anybody was wrong, because it wasn't a place to be for the weak-hearted out in the ice there. I mean, a lot of bodily contact, a lot of tremendous hits, and I believe that's what's going to continue in the second and third period. Sometimes by getting a real big hit or in a turnover or what have you, you can make the difference in the game. For example, Michael Pavanka, put a fairly good hit on Kjell Samuelsson there, which turned over the puck for Christus' second goal, and that's the physical part of the game that sometimes leads to winning hockey games.
All right, let's go to the phones. Our first caller tonight from Benedict, Maryland, and it's Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, this calls for a little speculation on Mr. Poile's part. It looks for sure like Quebec's going to get to draft Lindros. Now, it's unlikely that he'll stay with the big club the first year, but does Quebec have a team in the American Hockey League where he might be assigned and give the Baltimore-Washington area fans a chance to see him when they come to Baltimore? Thank you very much.
Quebec does have a farm team in the American Hockey League. It's in Halifax, and if Eric Lindros was playing there, the fans in Baltimore would get to see him. But believe me, from what I've seen of Eric Lindros, I don't think he's going to spend a day in the minors. He'll be playing in the National Hockey League next year.
Yeah, I would say if Quebec does get to draft Eric Lindros, I think the fans in Quebec City would just run the Colisée if they didn't have him in the lineup at every point next year.
Right, he's a top player. I mean, he's Mario Lemieux type of player that comes along once in a while, and he certainly is going to play right away in the National Hockey League as an 18-year-old hockey player.
Okay, to Germantown, Maryland. Brian, go ahead.
Hi, I've got a quick question for Mr. Poyle. This is just a theoretical question, but assuming that the Capitals were to win the Patrick division in the playoffs again this season, do you think that champions would throw another party for them?
Well, I don't think that needs to be commented on. We're just trying to make the playoffs right now. That's what's important to us right now.
Let's go to Pat from Laurel. Go ahead. Bob from I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laurel.
Hello, David. First of all, question for David right away. Being a Penguins fan, I'd like to have his opinion on the latest trade between the Penguins being Cullen and Zalapsky for Samuelson and Francis. What team does he think will benefit the most from that trade? And the second part of the question, I would like Al's opinion on who the two Patrick Division teams that will not make the playoffs this year.
As far as my opinion on the Pittsburgh-Hartford trade, there is some really quality players traded. I think my first reaction to any trade that's made is that, especially in our division, is that the team in our division that made the trade is getting the better of it. That's probably my instincts. I think I really believe it's a trade that's probably going to help both teams. I mean, you saw the other night when we played Hartford with John Cullen, he just kills the Capitals. So whether he's in Pittsburgh or in Hartford, he still kills us. It'll be very interesting to see how Ron Francis plays behind Mario Lemieux, and it really might be a better combination for Pittsburgh to have the offensive type of player in Lemieux and Ron Francis, also players can score 100 points, but a better defensive center as number 2. It might be just what the doctor ordered. The Penguins haven't lost since that trade, so it looks real good for them.
I thought before the start of the season that the Islanders and Flyers would be the two teams that won't make the playoffs. I'll stick with my original prediction, but remember, this is also from a guy who thought the New Jersey Devils would really be challenging for first place, so we'll have to see what happens there. Let's go to Scott from Silver Spring. Go ahead.
Yeah, David, I was wondering, why don't you move Kevin Hatcher to offense? Because, I mean, he scores so many points, but he's still got, like, this huge minus rating. So I really don't think he is useful on defense.
Okay. Well, Kevin Hatcher as a defenseman is playing very offensive-minded this year. He's very close, if not leading our team in scoring, and he's one of the defensemen in the top 5 or 6 in scoring in all of the National Hockey League. And it's a weapon or a tool that you really need these days to be successful in the National Hockey League. I mean, players like Ray Bourque, Chris Chelios with Chicago, Al McGinnis with Calgary, these are the teams that are really leading the offense on their teams. The game that I think of the 90s in hockey is the teams that have that ability to get the puck out of their end and get it up the ice and then have the big point men. At the trading deadline, there was 2 or 3 teams that made trades because they didn't think that they had the correct guy to play the point on the power play. And these are something I think the Capitals are really blessed well with right now, with players like Katarinoff, who scored off the point tonight, Kevin Hatcher, who got an assist on when Dale Hunter tipped his shot, and Al Iafrate and Calle Johansson are also very good offensive defensemen.
Okay, to Alney. Joey, go ahead.
Hi, this is a question for David Poyle. How do you feel about Mike Liut's play lately?
Well, Mike Liut has played very well lately. He wasn't being used very much in the last couple of months. Don Beaupre was being used almost all the time by Terry Murray, and then Donnie got hurt a week or so ago, and Mike came in some really important games for us, and I think he's undefeated in his last 4 games, 2 wins and 2 ties, and those were games that we really needed the points, and he came through as he has so many times in his career.
I think we've got time for one more quick call. Jason from Bowie, you've got it. Go ahead.
Hello. I'd like to ask why we didn't make a move for Pat LaFontaine when we had a chance.
Well, we along with
chance, did you?
Yeah, we had a chance. We, along with 20 other teams, had about the same chance. I really believe that Pat LaFontaine is unhappy. That's a given. He was, and to my information and sources, he was never being marketed. In fact, the team is up for sale now, and I don't think with an asset like LaFontaine that he is going to be traded.
All right, David, thank you very much. Capitals General Manager David Poyle taking your calls between the first and second periods. Plenty more hockey ahead. Jeff and Craig are back with it after these messages on HTS.
Okay, folks, how much could be saved if America cuts its oil and natural gas usage by just 8% a year? Almost 1 month's supply and hundreds of dollars for you. Let's put our energy into saving it. Question: how can you help stop America's growing dependence on foreign oil? Have a regular tune-up. It can save millions of gallons of gasoline a day. Let's put our energy into saving it.
I have to
cancel?
I keep canceling.
I had to cancel.
Why do you keep putting it off?
Mother, I'm not...
GE's breast cancer detection system.
I keep meaning to.
Did you go? I'm too busy.
It can detect tumors too tiny to be felt.
I had such a busy week. I'm going to go next week. I can't find the time. I just haven't had time. When?
It can help increase the survival rate to 91%.
I'll go when I have the time.
Next week.
Oh, I can't next week. Don't
As soon as I can find the time, I'll go.
But there's one thing GE can't do. We can't make you go.
It's nothing to worry about. I just couldn't go.
What is refreshing? It's the taste. The taste that could only come from a cold blue light right out of the ice. Now that's refreshing.
Hi, I'd like an oil change, and don't forget my game piece.
Some people would do just about anything to play Jiffy Lube's Great American Giveaway.
Voulez-vous escargot?
That's because we're giving away lots of fabulous vacations.
Holy cow.
And thousands of other terrific prizes.
You shouldn't have.
The Great American Giveaway from Jiffy Lube. Where everyone's a winner.
Game Piece is available at any of our 41 locations. Jiffy Lube. We do it right, guaranteed.
Home Team Sports coverage of Washington Capitals hockey is brought to you by Labatt's Blue, the crisp, clean taste of Canada's favorite beer. Between friends, it's True Blue, Labatt's Blue. By your nearby Sears installed home improvement professionals, the most trusted name around the house. And by Safeway. Come see the difference at Safeway. While the difference in that first period, 2 power play goals, and the Capitals 1 even strength goal. They lead the Flyers by a score of 3-0 after the first period of play. Welcome back. I'm Jeff Rimmer along with Craig Laughlin. And Craig, a determined Washington Capital hockey team, took the ice here tonight and totally dominated in all departments.
They certainly did, Jeff. I think the big difference was that period the Caps were skating. They were really skating, dumping the puck in, creating havoc and a lot of problems for the Flyer defense. The Capitals, a faster skating hockey team, and I think that's one thing the Flyers were worried about coming into the Cap Center tonight. They skate very well here.
Let's get a look at our head and shoulders shot chart from a Washington Capitals perspective. 12 shots and the 3 goals.
Well, 12 shots and 7 shots from the blue line. 2 for Calle Johansson, 3 for Kevin Hatcher, and that's where they're getting some good opportunities. And they pick up a power play goal. Tatarnoff walking the circle, Craven trying to cut in, Keith Acton trying to chase him, but Tatarnoff gets his 7th goal of the year, but it's his first where he's really overpowered the goaltender. That's what he's known for, is really hard slap shot. He lets it go. Reggett doesn't move. Good screens in front set up by Dale Hunter. It flows right past Ken Reggett into the lower corner. The Caps pick up an even strength goal, and it's due because of good forechecking. We have Michael Pavanka taking out Kartner in the corner. Samuelson's also involved, but John Druce, if we hold it right here, we've got Kartner, who was going to chase Druce. He came out the short side. Druce banks it right here. And the third man, Dmitry Kristich, puts it into the top corner. Draped all over him. Murray Craven. Kartner can't get to him. He sneaks into the hole and puts it top shelf. The Caps again on the power play. They set up the diamond. They've got it set up. They're trying to keep the puck at the point. Michael Pavanka looking back to the point man. He gives it to Calle Johansson. Calle Johansson walks to the middle, and then he lays the pass. He knows it's going to be a one-timer. Kevin Hatcher shoots. It gets deflected off Keith Acton. Then in front, again it gets redirected. Right here by Dale Hunter, being taken out in front by Kartner. He deflects it past Ken Reggett for Dale Hunter's 15th of the season.
Solid period from a Washington perspective. Let's get a look at the head and shoulders shot chart now for the Flyers. No goals. They had 8 shots.
And they had 8 shot shots. In the last 2 or 3 minutes, they had 5 of them. So the Capitals really holding them at bay, forcing the shots from the outside.
And today's shot chart brought to you by Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. The teams are back on the ice. We are set to go for period 2. Before we do, let's join Al Coker. All right, thanks, Jeff. One of the things that Craig was making some good points about during that period, how well the Capitals were avoiding that deep, heavy forechecking pressure of the Flyers. They were reversing. They were cutting up the middle. They really were not getting themselves pinned down in the zone. We'll see if they can, one, keep that up, but two, if Paul Holmgren changes up any of his forechecking patterns, because it certainly didn't work in that first period. The other thing, as we set up and wait for David Poile in our home team sports studios down here, we're right across from the Flyers dressing room. As they were coming off the ice, most teams, even if they're down, are trying to talk it up, trying to make some noise. I heard very little coming out of those Flyers as they were walking back to their dressing room. It's an interesting situation because this is a team that always talks up, always talks tough. So we'll see if they have been demoralized a lot in that first period, although we still expect to see a plenty feisty Flyer team coming up for the next 40 minutes. Let's go back upstairs and rejoin Jeff and Craig.
Thanks, Al. Well, I would suspect Craig Laughlin doing most of the talking after that first 20 minutes of play. The coaching staff, led by Paul Holmgren.
Well, I think they did a lot of the talking, I'm sure, in the Flyer dressing room. And I think the players did a lot of listening, and they did a lot of soul searching. They would have been trying to get each other up. But I think most importantly, the Caps really dominated that period. It showed on the shot chart. It showed in the 3-0 lead. But the Flyers, you've got to beware of the Flyers. They are a team that grinded out for 60 minutes. The other night in Vancouver, Jeff, down 4-1. They end up coming back and winning 5-4 in overtime. So you can't count them out. They're going to keep coming at the Capitals. The Capitals have to stay to their game plan.
All right, it'll be interesting to watch these first few minutes in the second period and see what the Flyers bring to the ice. Eklund with Peterson and Tocchet up front. Samuelson and Kartner on the blue line. For the Capitals, it's the Mike Ridley line. Miller and Susarelli flanked on the wings. Langway and Iafrate on the points. Flyers dumped it into the Washington end. Look ahead, but it's Al Iafrate around the net. Leads the Caps attack to the line. Iafrate from center. Lets one go. Reggett gets the glove on it. And it trickles to the corner. Flyers quickly dump out to neutral ice. Iafrate clears it right back in. Kartner behind the net. Deep pass for Eklund, who turns away from traffic. Eklund to center. In over the line. Lets one go. Beaupre makes the save with a chest protector. Langway works it ahead for Miller. Too far. Murphy steps up. Langway lets it go to Kelly Miller, who's bumped along the boards, and it's Tocchet carrying it in over the line. Tocchet's drive high over top of Beaupre. On the far side, Peterson couldn't control it. Sutter works it along the boards, but it's Ridley who feeds to Langway. Langway up the wing to Miller, tipped into the Flyers zone. Here's Murray Barron, who scored the overtime game winner Wednesday night. Craven in across the line, tries to get around to Carnot, who takes a hit from Sutter. It's Pivonka skating to center. Bruce and Kristich on his wings. Here's Pivonka throwing it in front, and it's tipped to the corner by Murray Barron. John Druce bumped along the boards. Pivonka in front to Kristich, and he couldn't get a shot away with Barron all over him. Here's Pivonka turning at the circle. A hit to Tatarnov. Scores! Michael Tatarnov, 4-0.
Michael Tatarnov, what a move. That's a no-no in the National Hockey League. Michael Tatarnov sneaks past the forward, Craven and Mellanby. He sneaks in behind him, gets a wide-open pass, a beautiful pass by Michael Pivonka. He's in alone. It's a 2-on-0. Mellanby can't get back. Kristich is coming in front, and he just does a nice little nifty backhand move. Reggett way out of the net, slides it into the wide-open goal.
Look at that goal. And it was a terrific pass off the stick of Pivonka, who came up with that big play in the period. And we're going to have a change of goaltenders, as Pete Peters has been told by Paul Holmgren to get the pads on, or rather get the goaltending gloves on, the blocker pad and the catching mitt. He'll get a stick and then make his way into the Flyer net. Pete Peters, the one-time Capital.
Peters has some good numbers for the Flyers, Jeff. He's 8-5-1, 2.76. So he's been the type of guy that's going to be counted on also down the stretch. They're looking for a guy to get hot. And the one complaint about their goaltending is the fact that they've let in some soft goals of late.
Want to remind all Washington Capitol ticket holders, and for those of you that don't have tickets, let's get some season ticket deposits on next year's tickets, because, folks, for those of you that put down a deposit on the 1991-92 tickets, you'll get the best available seats for the playoffs this year. Give them a call right now. Sale representatives are standing by at 301-386-7080. Reserve your tickets for Caps hockey for next year with a deposit or a down payment, and you'll have the best available seats for the playoffs this time. The puck was not dropped fairly. Acton and Hunter will do it all over again if they don't get chased.
And I don't think Paul Holmgren pulling out Kenny Reggett, I don't think he's telling Kenny Reggett it's his fault. I think he's trying to inspire his team to play well. You can't stop a 2-on-0. Ken Reggett left alone, left out to dry a 2-on-0. Michael Tatarnoff just puts it into the wide open net.
Alan May tying up the Como on the boards. Puck squirts free to Hunter, to Iafrate. Play's been whistled down. Alan May and Chychrun, here they go.
Chychrun knocking Alan May a little bit off balance, and Chychrun, a tough guy on the blue line, and he's coming off surgery on his left wrist. He still has a pin in there. It's his grabbing hand, so when he grabs it, he's not as strong. He's trying to get a hold, trying to get his arm loose to hit Alan May.
We'll be back. Stay tuned.
Unit pricing is more important today than... I think that the economy affects everyone, and certainly Giant is responding and will continue to respond to the consumer's interest in saving money. Based on the number of different specials that Giant offers each week, there are many choices that consumers can make and many ways to save. You can plan your meals around the newspaper ads, looking at what's being featured that week. Consumers can shop at Giant and get the quality, the service, and the value while still saving money.
The Flyers on the power play. Alan May picking up an instigating minor penalty. Alan May grabs Chychrun from behind, trying to let him go. Chychrun really doesn't want to go, and then Alan May is doing a little talking, and Chychrun sneaks in a right hand. Chychrun ends up with a 5-minute major. Alan May a 5 and a 2 for instigating.
Wasn't a long fight, but both of them landing some solid hits.
And I think Chychrun caught Alan May off guard. Chychrun pretending he didn't want to fight Jeff, holding up his stick. Then all of a sudden he dropped his right glove and caught Alan May with one to the forehead. But Alan May quickly got up and responded with one himself.
2 and 5 for May. 5 and a major for fighting to Chychrun. And it's the Flyers on the power play as Pete Peters gets it from the crowd with his first save of the evening. Tries to stick handle in over the Washington line. Puck cleared into the corner. Peterson bumped by Iafrate. Langway tries to freeze it there. Puck scores free, and Wrigley works it down the ice. Pete Peters for Cartner. Here's Cartner back to the line. From center, works it off the glass into the Washington end. Beaupre leaves it for Iafrate. Iafrate getting away from Peterson. Feeds ahead for Kelly Miller. He's got a breakaway. In over the line. Miller shoots. Peters to save the rebound. Miller gets it right back. Here's Miller around the net. Kelly Miller with a breakaway from the blue line. Eklund back for the Flyers. Feeds to Murphy. Murphy across the line for Tocchet. Winds up with a shot. Beaupre the save. Eklund the rebound. And Beaupre gets a piece of that one. Tocchet couldn't control on the right point. Flyers will have to regroup here and neutralize it. Here's Johansson for Ridley. He's got a breakaway. Ridley in shoots. Peters the save. And he doesn't know where it is. Play's been whistled down and a face-off in the Flyer zone. Pete Peters coming on for Reggett, and he stops not one, but 2 breakaways.
Pete Peters thinking he's in a penalty shot contest, Jeff. Mike Ridley alone. He's trying to deke. He's looking. He's pretending he's going to deke. And he does deke. He's looking over his shoulder to see the Flyer coming on. And Pete Peters not sure where it is. It's right under him. And a nice play by Al Iafrate breaking loose right up to Kelly Miller. Kelly Miller's got a breakaway from the Flyers blue line. It's penalty shot night. He goes in alone on Pete Peters. And Kelly Miller's played enough time with Pete Peters. His one area where he has a weakness is his 5-hole. Kelly Miller tried to shoot that puck over his stick between his pads, but Pete Peters, in those new pads that he's wearing, Jeff, the 5-hole closes up, and there wasn't a lot of room to shoot at.
On that Miller breakaway, Craig, that's about as long a breakaway as you'll ever see in the National Hockey League. From the Washington blue line all the way down the ice. Here's Johansson right on, stick to side by Peters. Samuelsson turns, gets it to Barrett. Remember, it's the Caps that are killing off the penalty. Ciccarelli in the box for the extra minor to May. Ricci across the line. Christmas tying him up. Ricci throws it to Craven, and a stick save by Beaupre. Back to the point. Barron's drive goes wide. Here on the right point, Samuelsson tries to work it ahead. Johansson, though, dumping it down to the Flyer zone. 5 seconds left in the extra penalty to Alan May. Christmas has it knocked off his stick. Worked ahead, Samuelsson cut off by Johansson, dumped right back in. The Caps back at full strength. 15:57 left in the second period. Ricci standing at center, flipping it ahead here for Darren Smith. Trying to get around Sabrin. Centers it to Tarnov there to cut off the pass. Now Derek Smith gets it right back. Smith being chased by Kypreos in the backhand, dumped into the Flyer zone. Here comes Fendus. Lead pass for Acton. Trying to get away from Tarnov. Worked ahead. In the zone now, Jensen pulls Sabrin down. They bump behind the net. Centering pass, Jensen shoots, Beaupre the save, and Sabrin tips it by Murphy. Back at the Flyer blue line. Jensen gets it to Fendus. Fendus skates up to center. Fires a shot to the open corner. Sabrin is back, slapping it along the boards for Kypreos. Kypreos puts it to Tarnov, looking for the return pass to Kypreos. Broken up by Peterson. Peterson gets it to Jensen, but he couldn't control the pass, and Greenlaw backhands it into the Flyer end, all the way down, deep in Flyer territory. Here's Samuelsson, with a burst of speed to center. Samuelsson, a centering pass for Eklund, in over the line. Eklund top of the circle, tipped by Iafrate. Christic sandwiched by a couple of the Flyers, but Pavanka comes down with Bruce 2-on-2. Pavanka, top of the circle. Moves to the corner. Pavanka still controls. Has it poked away by Samuelsson, who works it ahead for Tocchet. He couldn't control the pass. Christic tried to get somewhere. It goes to Iafrate. Off the stick of Peterson to Christic. Backhanded and knocked down by Pavanka between the legs. Play called as it was knocked down with a high stick. 14:22 left to go in the second period. Washington with a 4-goal lead.
Genuine draft. For those who discovered its real draft taste, the world is a very cool place.
Jeff Rimmer with Craig Laughlin and Al Koken here on Home Team Sports. Hope you're enjoying tonight's contest. Yes, a playoff-type atmosphere here at the Capitol Center. Very important game as far as the Patrick Division standings are concerned. Kypreos works it cross ice for Berglund. Hops over his stick. He throws a solid hit into Barron. Barron almost ended up in a Capitals bench. Here on the near side. Craven trying to feed it ahead. The Caps able to clear the zone. Berglund trying to tip it away from Barron, but it's knocked down by Fendus. Fendus across the line. Throws it on the wing for Craven. Johansson back for the Capitals. Works it along the far boards. Cut off by Fendus. He'll keep it in if he can. Hatcher cuts off the pass. Knocked down by Mellanby, but the Caps control, and it's Hatcher very easily knocking it into the Flyer zone where Fendus picks it up. Gives it to Mellanby. Back to Fendus at the line. From center, long drive, play called, and we've got a penalty for elbowing. Upcoming here, the call from Terry Gregson, who ends up on his rear end as he fell over the blue line.
Mike Ricci's going to get the call for the elbowing penalty. Ricci trying to back check on Kelly Miller. Got in front of Kelly Miller, gave Kelly Miller an elbow. He was just one stride ahead of him. He leaned back, gave Kelly Miller the elbow, and Gregson right there to call the minor penalty.
Ricci for elbowing. The Caps with 2 power play goals, and Paul Holmgren, who we get a look at, he's going to have to put that penalty killing unit back on. Coming into tonight's game, the Flyers 12th in penalty killing situations in a rather crowded quarter at Flyer penalty box right now.
They're not very aggressive, Jeff, on the penalty killing unit. They've only had 2 shorthanded goals all season. Keith Acton has one, along with Derek Smith, who has one against the Capitals in the last game they played here.
We saw that stat. The Caps 2 for 3 on the power play tonight. They were 8 for their last 23 coming into the game, so 10 power play goals. Over the last several games, the Caps power play back on the rise. Coming into tonight's game, they were 10th in the league. Here's to Karnow. Lead pass for Miller. Miller at center. Crosses the line. In the corner now. This is Carter backhanding. Ciccarelli knocks it down. Back at the point, it's Iafrate. Looking for Ciccarelli, but Lacombe works it down into the Washington end. Beaupre out of the net. Leaves it up forward to Karnow, who has a couple of goals, including a power play marker tonight. Karnow, lead pass for Miller. He couldn't control it. Lacombe stands up at center. Turns, puts it out of the stick of Ciccarelli, and offside the call.
Dino Ciccarelli pushing off easily on his leg, Jeff. His groin's still hurting a little bit. He tried, didn't skate this morning, thought that if he took the morning skate off, he might feel better tonight, and he was going to try to come out in the pregame warm-up, and he came out in warm-up and said to Stan Wong that he felt pretty good, so he decided to play in this important game for the Capitals.
Dino telling us earlier today that if he could go at all, he would, even if it was 70%. He wanted to help the Capitals in this big hockey game here tonight. He sat out the game in the Quebec victory Thursday night. But in the lineup tonight, Hunter and Acton for the from the face-off, won by the Capitals. Pivonka crosses the line, looks cross ice, knocked down by Kartner. Kartner works it off the boards, down into the Washington end. Eklund, a centering pass for Acton, and his backhand drive stopped by Beaupre. Acton works it to the left point. Kartner. Get ahead here. This is Hatcher behind the Washington net. Gets it to Hunter with 48 seconds left in the minor penalty to Ricci. Pivonka skates in over the line. On the far boards. He's out there by Kartner. Puck squirts free. Samuelson works it off the glass and down the ice. Beaupre way out of the net here now. Flyers get some fresh legs on. Beaupre on the far board. Gets it to Johansson. Johansson with 24 seconds left. Feeds to Pivonka at center. Michael Pivonka across the line. Feeds a pass there. Top of the circle. Higher shot. Off the goal post. The Ed Peters beat. Hatcher behind the net for Pivonka. Tip to Christic. 11 seconds left. Pivonka feeds to Johansson. Hatcher teeing it up. Gets it to Pivonka. 4 seconds left. Back to Johansson. To Hatcher's one-timer scores! 5-0 Washington. Kevin Hatcher's shot from the point may have been deflected by Hunter, but it may be Hatcher's all the way.
The Capitals working the one-timers at the top of the circle, and Kevin Hatcher, a hard shot from the point. Dale Hunter in front, doing a good job screening, getting in good position between the two defensemen. But Calle Johansson, a little fake shot. Guys getting knocked down all over in front, and it's a hard shot. Gets maybe touched by Dale Hunter's end of his stick. He puts his stick up in the air, but Pete Peters having trouble seeing it from the point area. Deflects off his pad and goes into the short side.
Well, here's a look at it. Did Hunter get a piece of it? Tough to tell from that replay. Langway, cross ice for Iafrate. Peterson steps into him. Kelly Miller now crosses the line. Miller tried to thread the needle. Kevin Hatcher gets the goal, or is it Hunter? Hatcher has the goal. Here's Pocket. It's off his stick. Back comes Ridley. Ridley down the left wing. To Leach, back to Ridley. Top of the circle, cross ice looking for Kelly Miller. Intercepted, back comes Eklund. Eklund leading the Flyers attack. Drops a pass, but there to cut it off is Tatarnov. He feeds to Ridley. For Stephen Leach. Leach down the left wing, puts the brakes on. Gets it to Tatarnov for Kelly Miller. He couldn't get a shot away. Miller tapping it behind the net there for Ridley. Stood up by Samuelson. Partner there. Works it for Peterson. A centering pass for Eklund. Eklund from center, crosses the line, feeds it on the wing for Berube, and Tatarnov gets a piece of him. Beaupre the save. Tocchet tied up by Sabrin. Carter's shot through traffic, knocked down, and worked here on the near side. Kypreos. Lead pass for Berglund. Dumped in, Peters out of the net to cradle the puck. But it's the Washington Capitals that control in the offensive zone. Greenlaw for Berglund. Berglund trying to get away from Acton. Gets it to Kypreos. Kypreos in the corner. Tied up by Samuelson. Kypreos works it free to Berglund. For Jeff Greenlaw. Greenlaw tries to get away from Carter. Goes to Berube. It's off the skate of Berglund. Knocked down by Carter. Fed ahead for Jensen. Tipped into the Washington zone. Glove high in the air. And the Caps come out of their own zone. Here's John Bruce. Play's been whistled down. And a penalty's upcoming. Officially the goal, Kevin Hatcher from Johansson and Pavanka at 8:26. Goal number 22 for Hatcher. Stay tuned.
And this is our 1991 Chevy S10EL. Let me point out a few features. Electronic fuel injection, power front disc brakes, rear wheel anti-lock brake system, double wall steel, front and rear. 5-speed, full gauges, tinted glass. What do you think?
So, what will I get for this price?
Let me show you.
The 91 Chevy S10EL. For value, more people are winning with today's Chevy truck.
The Flyers get another power play opportunity. Tim Berglund for the Capitals. Working along the boards. Ken Sabrin also in the picture. He picks up the puck, trying to break away John Druce, but at the top of the screen, Tim Berglund catches Berube with the high stick, and I think the Flyers are over-talking to Gregson, trying to get him to call a 5-minute major because it hit him in the face area. But Tim Berglund just swung his stick to try to get away from him, Jeff. Not intentional. He's in the box for the 2-minute high sticking penalty.
9 minutes, 47 seconds left to go here in the second period. The Washington Capitals a commanding 5-0 lead. In over the line, Partner's drive deflected way up into the crowd, and a sellout crowd here at the Capitol Center enjoying this one. 2 for 4, the Caps in the power play. Flyers still looking for their first goal of the game, and they're first with an extra man.
The Flyers have a little different type of power play than the Capitals. They set up the same system, but their defensemen like to shoot to the side of the net, Jeff. They look for Tocchet off the side, Ricci off the side. They don't shoot directly at the goaltender.
Gord Murphy on the right point, top of the circle. Beaupre the save. The rebound on the far wall, backhanded by Ridley, but not out. Carter keeps it in. Carter to Murphy. Murphy deflected off Kelly Miller, high in the glass. Ellie Eklund comes out of the corner, feeds right back to Murphy. For Carter off his skate, Ridley gives it to Al Iafrate. He's all by himself. Iafrate skates it over the line. Murphy kicks it off his stick and then feeds ahead for Tocchet. Tocchet crosses the Washington lines. He's chased there by Miller in the corner. Works it behind the net. Ricci throws the backhand pass on the point. Puck comes to Murphy. To Eklund. Eklund back to Barron for Murphy, who keeps it in. Good stick work as well as his skates on that one. Tocchet for Eklund to Murphy. To Barron. Back to Eklund for Tocchet in the corner. Tocchet turns. Gets it back. Barron drives through traffic. Beaupre saw it all and gets a piece of it. Tocchet bumped there by Iafrate. Gloved ahead by Ridley. The Caps have cleared the zone. 40 seconds left in the minor penalties. Craven turns to center. Feeds ahead here. Mellanby. Mellanby turns at the red center line. Feeds it on the wing. Barron across. Top of the circle. A shot. Looking on the glove side, and it's way wide. Samuelson back at his own line. Lead pass off the skate of Mellanby. Onside, and Peterson drives over top of the net. Kristich works it down the ice, and Peters there to stop it.
The Flyers must have a scouting report on Don Beaupre. Most of their shots have been high and hard, Jeff. They're all looking to go into that top corner instead of just putting the puck on the goal.
They've been whistled down, and a face-off come out of the Washington end. All the way back into Flyer territory with 5 seconds left in the minor penalty.
Captain Rod Langway of the Caps. 900th game the other night against Quebec. He wants to play. In your interview, Jeff, a couple more seasons, get to that 1,000 game mark in the NHL. And over the years, he picks up some goals, some important goals. He's got 51 goals in his career, 261 assists. He's one of the best passing defensemen in the National Hockey League because he makes the easy pass. He shoots it up the middle, and he passes the puck very hard.
Nick Kypreos getting a rare opportunity here to kill off what are the remaining 11 seconds in the penalty to Berglund. Kypreos and Jeff Greenlaw. 5 seconds left in the penalty. As Tatarna turns, backhands ahead on the right wing, looking for Greenlaw. Greenlaw is tied up, coming out of the pack. Sutter, and over the line, gives it to Acton. For Chychrun, back to Acton, who shot through traffic, blocked by the Capitals. Berglund back on the ice, and he feeds it to Greenlaw. Greenlaw for Kypreos. High and wide of Pete Peters. Greenlaw bumps his man. Kypreos trying to center it for Berglund. This is Fenves. To the line. Deep pass for Berube. Dump to the corner. Berube racing after it. Beaupre has to cut it off. Here on the near side is Berglund. Down the wing. In across the line. Tim Berglund puts the brakes on. Throws it in front for Tatarna, and it was cleared away by Jensen. Shot by Sabourin goes wide. Kypreos on the far board. Backhands to the corner. Fenves picks up the puck. The Caps change as play continues. Keith Acton out of his own zone. Down the wing. Acton trying to work it ahead. Right out of the stick of Tatarna. Feeds it ahead for Alan May. May down the left wing and over the line. Drops the pass for Leach, who puts the brakes on. And the puck cleared to the corner there by Pete Peters. Flyers dumped it down the ice into the Washington end with 6:32 left. Johansson for Hunter. Hunter. Lead pass for Hatcher in across the line. The Caps defenseman throws it in front. Peters tips it ahead, and Ricci works it off the boards to neutral ice. Johansson drives it back in. Peters out of the net. Leaves it there for Samuelsson. 6:13 left in the second period. Eklund turns away from Hunter. Puts the brakes on with Alan May chasing. Getting it ahead here for Kartner. Dumped in. Down on the far side. Cut out. By the Caps. Stephen Leach for Alan May. Samuelsson bumped by May. Getting it ahead. Derek Smith being chased by Johansson. Hatcher between the circles. Gives to Pivonka. For May. May tries to work it ahead. Delayed penalty coming here. High sticking the call. And with 5:44 left, another power play opportunity as Gregson calls the high sticking penalty. And we'll join Al Koken for this Washington Post update.
All right, thank you, Jeff. As we go to the Washington Post scoreboard, we'll see not only is the news good here for the Capitals, but it's also getting very good in Hartford. 3 third-period goals for the Whalers, 2 of them for John Cullen at Hartford with a 4-1 lead over New Jersey right now in Hartford. The other games, 2 finals. Quebec lost to Pittsburgh today, 6-3. You got a 5-3 final for Detroit over Boston. Right now, no score between the Islanders and the Vancouver Canucks. That now in the second period. Buffalo takes a 3-1 lead over Montreal. Minnesota and Toronto tied up at 1 after 1 period at Maple Leaf Gardens. Calgary in a big game out west, a 2-1 lead over the LA Kings, that in the first period. And another big game in the Norris Division. St. Louis has jumped out to an early 1-0 lead over Chicago. A lot of scores. We'll keep you updated all throughout tonight's game. Back up to Jeff and Craig.
I'm looking forward to Al in the post-game show bringing us up to date on the standings, not only in the Patrick Division, but around the NHL. Some very big games as far as the playoffs are concerned.
It certainly is, Jeff. And that game in Hartford, a very big game. David Poyle talked to us earlier today. Caps win here tonight. New Jersey loses. There's only 8 points separating the 5th-place team and the 1st-place team.
Rangers have lost 5 in a row, including last night's game. I'll tell you more about that a little later. Peterson trying to dig it free. Caps clear the zone. Iafrate and Ridley 2-on-1. Here's Ridley, top of the circle to Iafrate. He very calmly feeds in the corner to Ridley. Mike Ridley gets it back to Kelly Miller. Miller from outside the line fires on Pete Peters, who makes the save and leaves the rebound there for Gord Murphy. Caps have been the opportunists here throughout the evening, playing the man short, but have yet to score a shorthanded goal. Here's Barrett, top of the circle, hits the side of the net. Raven gives it to Tocchet. Back to Barron, a drive through traffic, and it goes wide. Samuelsson pitching in from the corner, gets it to Tocchet, set up behind the net. The Flyers leading scorer. Guys to come out of the corner as plays whistled down with Miller. Dumped, and the net off the moorings. 4:34 left. I was going to say about the Rangers last night, Craig. Rangers lost to the New Jersey Devils. And Roger Nielsen, for the first time since assuming the coaching reins, very critical of the Rangers, saying they were out-hustled, outplayed, and he was very disappointed as the Rangers' losing streak was extended to 5 games.
Well, I'm sure he has to be disappointed. I mean, they were riding a wave there for a while, but I think all the other teams have been so desperate. They worked that much. New Jersey, a desperate hockey team last night, playing in front of a sold-out Brendan Byrne Arena, over 19,000. I'm sure a lot of Ranger fans, but a lot of them are partisan crowd for the New Jersey Devils. They want to see the Devils in the playoffs.
Calle Johansson works it down the boards and into the Flyer end, where Pete Peters comes out and leaves it there for Samuelsson. 39 seconds left of the minor penalty to Pivonka. Eklund reverses the speed to center. In across the line. Eklund puts the brakes on the half board. Eklund feeds back to the point. Samuelson's drive blocked there by Kristich. And Samuelsson all but thin, and he feeds it to John Bruce. Bruce dumps to the corner, and a delayed penalty upcoming here to Kjell Samuelsson as the Flyers touch the puck. Kristich interfered with by Samuelsson, and a roughing penalty to the big Flyer defenseman. Stay tuned. We'll have the penalty call when we return.
Each year, only one thoroughbred can be Horse of the Year, and each year, Pimlico Racecourse is a major factor in crowning that champion. The Pimlico Special has produced 12 Horses of the Year in its 25-year run.
Now it comes down to Ruhlman and Criminal Type.
The Preakness Stakes, second jewel of the Triple Crown, is the true test for 3-year-olds.
What a horse race this one is! Easy Goer and Sunday Silence.
So join us at Pimlico Racecourse, where champions are made. Pimlico opens March 14th.
At 15:59 of the second period, Kjell Samuelsson picks up a penalty for the Flyers. The Capitals are going to be back on the power play. Gregson calling this game very close. He doesn't want to see the same thing that happened last time at the Capitol Center. He caught Samuelsson with the boarding penalty right at the Capitals bench when he ran into Dmitry Kristich. As Kristich was ready to go off, he dumped the puck in. Kjell Samuelsson finished his check, got called with the boarding call.
So the faceoff comes all the way down into the Flyer end. Washington will be on the power play in 17 seconds after the minor to Pivonka comes to a close. Four minutes, 1 second left to go here in the second period. It's been all Washington. 2 power play goals tonight. Michael Tatarna leading the Caps offensively with a couple. And in the Flyers zone, this is Barron picking it up off the wall. Feeds ahead here for Sutter. Lead pass for Acton at center. Acton crosses the line all by himself. Turns. 6 seconds left now. The minor penalty as Hatcher picks it up off the boards. Skates down the wing. Hatcher to center. Leads the Caps attack into the Flyers zone. Chasing him is Derek Smith. Hatcher fires it the rest of the way, and Peters quickly feeds to Barron. The Caps are on the power play. Lacombe at center. A drop pass there for Derek Smith. Winds up wide in the far corner. Barron on the left point. Works it ahead. Knocked down by Hatcher. Gives to Johansson. Lead pass for Hunter. Hunter turning away. Stops at his own blue line. Gives it to Kevin Hatcher. Hatcher on the backhand. Finds Kristich. Off the stick of Carter. Johansson to Hatcher. Hatcher working it to Pivonka. Cross ice on the right point. Johansson. A one-timer by Hatcher, and it's blocked in front of Pete Peters. Here's Lacombe down the right wing to center. Lacombe loses it there to Hatcher. Back penalty, feeding ahead to Pivonka. With a streaking Ridley, and the pass just failed to click. Murphy tying up with Ridley. Along the near boards, Craven Leaving it there for Carter. Knocked down by Tatarnov for Kelly Miller. Miller picks it up off the board. Feeds to Ridley off his stick. Tatarnov pinching in. Takes a hit from Craven, but it's Ridley that turns and feeds it right back to Tatarnov. Tatarnov for Kelly Miller. He leaves it for Iafrate. Back to Tatarnov. A wrist shot. Ahead for Kelly Miller. Miller with Pawaka standing on the doorstep. Miller turns on the half-court, feeds to Tatarnov. Top of the circle, the return feed to Kelly Miller. 14 seconds left, a shot. Short side, Peters the save, and he'll hold on.
The Caps trying to spread out the diamond formation. The Flyers in a diamond formation. And Caps moving it around the top of the circle. Tatarnov trying to cut that pass between the seam, trying to catch Kelly Miller for a one-timer. That's why the puck sometimes ended up in that far corner. But what they're trying to do is break down that diamond so that they can sneak a guy into the middle and get a one-timer right on top of Pete Peters.
12 seconds left of the minor penalty to Shel Samuelson. Terry Murray offering some last-second instructions here as the Caps get one last shot here with the extra man. From the draw, works ahead, kept in by Tatarnov, and Ricci able to clear to center. And picking up the loose puck there was Acton, but he overskates it. 2 seconds left. Tatarnov across the line. Feeds ahead for Greenlaw. He couldn't knock down the pass. Team's back to full strength. Acton in the corner. Kypreos works it back to Sabrin. Cross ice for Tatarnov. His backhand into the corner. Greenlaw tied up there by Acton. Kypreos comes in to help out and play quickly. Whistled down by Terry Gregson. Gregson, Craig. Not at all.
Gregson fell. Now Gordy Brossicers fell trying to hustle over to get that loose puck. Time for Miller. What's on tap? Time for our last Miller Genuine Draft Amateur Announcer Contest this season. Sign up today for your last chance to appear on Home Team Sports with Al Koken. The contest will be held on March 28th at 6:30 p.m. at JP's in Frederick. To enter, sign up at JP's or mail a postcard to HTS. Contestants must be 21 years of age or older.
Shots on goal here in the second period. 8 for Washington, 8 for the Flyers. But the Caps have scored the only 2 goals here in the second period. Lead 5-0 and about shot the Philadelphia Flyers now 20-16. So the Flyers have tested Don Beaupre here in the second period, evenly certainly with the Capitals, but trailing on the board now by 5. Eklund, backhand pass for Ricci. Across the line. Ricci up by Iafrate. Puck squirts free. Langway works it ahead for Greenlaw. Off the board, but kept in by Eklund. Out of the stick of Langway. A lead pass for Greenlaw down the left wing at center. Greenlaw crosses the line, backhands to the open corner. Peters out of the net. To traffic. Gives it to Fendis. Return pass for Gord Murphy with 1:12 left in the period. Eklund being chased by Greenlaw. Throws the backhand pass for Fendis. Looks ahead for Tocchet. Tocchet puts the brakes on. Lead pass for Ricci. Eklund on the wing. Less than a minute to go. Eklund, the return feed to Ricci, tied up. Eklund also tied up and skating away for the Capitals is Stephen Leach. Leach to center. Leach trying to get around Kartner on the far board. Puts the brakes on. Kartner loses his edge. A one-timer by Hatcher that's over top of the net. Samuelson behind the net. Bumped by Alan May. Kartner out of his own end. The backhand pass for Eklund at center. Dumped into the Washington end. Hatcher back. Throws it around on the wall. Berube dumps to the corner. Acton picks it up. He's tied up by Hunter. Berube throws a hit on Hatcher, but the Caps dump it down into the Flyers zone.
And as a player, Jeff, these last few seconds of this period, the players know that Berube's out there. You've got to keep your head up. He's looking to headhunt, trying to get a late hit in.
Jansen works it into the zone. Hatcher firing it, and this one finds its way into the crowd. 3 seconds left on the clock. And again, the face-off in the Washington end. Last time, with 2 seconds left, Paul Holmgren pulled his goaltender. And I think he's going to do exactly the same thing here again as he gets Pete Peters' attention. And he's called for Pete Peters. So the face-off for the second straight period. The closing seconds in the Washington zone. And again, Holmgren, in an effort to get something going, pulls his goaltender.
at 5-0, Jeff, it's not a bad move. He's trying to get a goal. He's trying to get something positive near the end of the period, so when they go into the locker room, it's not a lost period, not a lost 2 periods. Being down 5-0, the guys are going to be pretty depressed on the Flyers. He's trying to give them something positive by maybe scoring a late goal here.
Dale Hunter issuing some last-second instructions as he gets word from the Caps bench from Terry Murray. Hunter, one of the better face-off men in the National Hockey League. Working against Murray Craven here. The Flyers last period did in fact get a shot away. And Sutter being told by Pat Capuzzo to head to the other side. Puck's not been dropped. All kinds of extracurricular activity. They'll have to do it all over again. From the faceoff, Hunter wins the draw. In the corner, Pivonka works it ahead as the horn goes to end the second period. 2 goals by the Capitals. Tatarna, second of the night. And Kevin Hatcher with his team-leading 22nd goal of the season. The Washington Capitals lead the ice with a 5-0 lead. This is the Home Team Sports Television Network.